What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another review, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a wave of Marvel Legends. It's been a while since I've bought, well, technically this isn't a whole wave, but it's been a while since I've bought this many Marvel Legends at once. We're going to be taking a look at most of the wave of the Marvel Legends Across the Spider-Verse Part 1's Jessica Dreq's Spider Woman, Spider-Man 2099, Miles Morales, Spider-Punk, and Cyborg Spider Woman. Now, I do plan on getting Spot. Hopefully, I get him before I finish the video, and I'll just throw him in. That's the goal. But I'm dying to get these open, so I'm gonna have to do so right now and start getting these guys open. So taking a look at the packaging here, starting off with our quintessential hero, Miles Morales. Now, I hate to say this, but I'm not going to be keeping him as Miles. I'm actually going to be using him for a crazy custom idea that I had, but it's going to be awesome if I can pull it off, because I actually prefer the look of Miles in the jacket with the shorts and the shoes. That's just my personal opinion. I really do like that, but this head sculpt will be a nice upgrade, so I'll probably pop that onto the body, the older body, because I don't need this one. But my personal opinion, I think he looks cooler when he has all that on. Plus, I like the smaller little kid look. This is more of like a teenage Miles, which is totally cool. But again, I prefer the other one. I might get, if I find her on clearance or something, I might get Spider-Gwen to upgrade her just because I thought that other figure was kind of buns. But there's his barcode if you're looking for it. I found this one at Target. I got them all at different places, but I believe I got Miles at Target. And along with him, I found Spider-Man 2099. And I'm already disappointed with this figure, to be completely honest with you. I promise I have not opened them. Haven't even taken a look at it, but I'm enamored with how awesome the Miles looks and how awesome the other characters look and how bland he looks. I am not digging this, but here's his barcode if you're looking for it. The back of the packaging looks the same as everybody else. A figure that actually looks pretty decent, which kind of surprised me because she was my least looked forward to in the series, is I guess we're calling her Spider Woman. It just says Jessica Dreq. I mean, looks nothing like the Jessica Dreq I know, but I think what's really cool, and I didn't notice this, I think she's pregnant, which I think that's crazy, which is a really nice nod to that book. I believe I read that book a long time ago in a comic book store. I never bought the book, but I just sat there and read it for a little bit. But yeah, I didn't even notice that until I just looked at it now, but that's kind of awesome. The back looks great, and then there's her barcode. Now, I know I got her at GameStop alongside Spider-Punk, which, man, Spider-Punk looks awesome. Very, very excited to get him open. He looks really cool. Apparently, he's the hardest one to find out of the wave. I want Spot the most. I'm really hoping that I can find him before I do this video, but Spot looks great, but Spider-Punk, look at all the paint on him. I mean, we'll get into it, but here's Spider-Punk's barcode if you're looking for that. And then finally, the big hitter of the wave, Cyborg Spider Woman. Now, this is a completely new design from Cyborg Spider-Man or from Spider Woman. I actually didn't know that this was a girl until I read the word woman. It's kind of crazy. This thing is apparently huge. The box is so heavy. The art on the side and the front looks good. I did find this one at Target, so there is your barcode for that. The art on the side looks nice. I'm surprised they did like the windless packaging for this one, but I mean, because you could have put it on like a Rhino card unless it's like that big. But anyway, without further ado, hopefully we find Spot before I finish up, but let's go ahead, pop these out, and take a look. So lo and behold, I did find Spot before I even opened anybody. They're all still on package, on card. Oh man, he looks so good. So today, at the time of this recording, this is the day after I recorded the intro for these ones. My girlfriend and I, we drove over to Baltimore, which from where we are, it's about 2 hours. And on the way back, there was a Target, and I just dropped her off, and it's the Target in between her and my place. So I'm like, it's been such a long day. Do I want to go? Of course I did, and the only character they had was Spot. There was 3 of them. Got to pick my choosings of them. There's the barcode if you're looking for him. He is hitting Target. I'm very, very happy. So he will be part of this video, but I'll probably do him last. I'm just going to kind of do this in a random order because Spot kind of mixed up my entire list of who was my favorite to least favorite kind of things. So I'm just going to start off with random characters, starting with the showcase himself, Miles Morales. Now, this is a pretty cool figure. Again, I probably am going to be using this for custom. I did take it out and I like it a lot more than I thought I would, so I might not. I might sell the other one or customize it a little bit, like use this body, but I don't know. I'd have to get that other one out, but it's a pretty damn cool figure. So taking a look at the head sculpt, I really like the bigger eyes that they're doing for this movie, and I like that they put a little bit of blue on the front of this. That's a really nice touch. I like the blue going down. There's texture everywhere. Keep that in mind. There's texture everywhere, like different hexagonal patterns, and then just like the basketball pattern kind of thing. You get this awesome spider logo on the back, so Miles definitely upgraded his suit. You know, he painted it like that. I love the logo. It is just tampoed on, which I'm okay with because, you know, he painted it, so I think that that's pretty damn cool. He's very spindly, so I would definitely recommend heating things up and go slow. Don't go cranking on shit, especially for one of the figures. I'll talk about that. Like when you're moving things, be careful because he is a thin figure, but he looks great in my opinion. I thought I was going to be fine with the previous one, but I might have to upgrade him. When I go home to my storage unit, I think I'm going to get out the other one and see what customizing I can do, because I really do like when he wears the shoes and the hoodie and the shorts. So I don't know. I might try to pop this torso off, see if I can play. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to play around with it. But he looks cool. He does come with a couple accessories, including, I think, one of the best alternate heads I've ever seen for Marvel Legends. This head right here. This looks phenomenal. It is perfect to what it is supposed to look like. The expression, the paint, the sculpt, it looks so good. And then obviously you just pop that off. It's a little tight on the ball joint, but you know, just be careful with it. And it looks great. Oh man, that looks so cool. Very, very well done on Hasbro's part. I really like that a lot. I'm usually not a fan of unmasked heads, but they put it out of the park with this one. And then, of course, it's Spider-Man, so you can't not have thwippies. So he does come with a pair of thwip hands. But, I don't know, I kind of like Miles just kind of posted. Like, oh, man. That looks great. I think I'm not going to use this for custom. I think I'm going to have to... I want to pop the J's on this and then try to put... the jacket on, maybe not the shorts, but definitely the shoes and the jacket, and see what I can get from there. But anyway, as you can see, as I'm kind of just playing around with him, his articulation is pretty good. So the heads, both of them are going to look up all the way down. It's on a hinge, and then they'll pivot a little bit and rotate. The shoulder joints, again, when you're going to move this up, don't grab it by the bicep or the lower arm. Grab it by the shoulder. Push it up like that, down, rotate 360. You do get a bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows on these tiny ass arms, and then the wrist swivel and hinge horizontally on all the hands. This was a big point of contingency. This is super ugly. There's no way around it. They didn't paint all the way up. It's super ugly. Arcing back, same thing. Didn't paint all the way up. Super ugly. I think they should have put a diaphragm joint on here with a waist swivel, or like that reverse ab crunch thing. I think it would have worked great for Miles. He's too flat, if that makes sense, to do this kind of joint. So I'm not a huge fan of that. But if you pose it right, you can barely even notice it. Ooh, like he just kind of fell into that pose. Yeah, you can, I don't know. It doesn't bother me as much as I thought. You do get a waist swivel, which I think is horrendous. Like, honestly, I kind of wish that wasn't even there. The hips are going to go out this far, down. He'll kick forward all the way, back, upper thigh cut, double jointed pinless knees. Love it. And then the ankles go down, up all the way, and pivot. Again, it's weird because he's so thin and a little squishy that when you move the ankles, you have to like hold it down lower, but it works. I think the articulation, other than the horrendously ugly torso, it's functional, first of all, so I'm okay with that. I think the rest is perfect, especially for a spindly character like this. I think that this is a very good figure and really swayed me to not want to just, like, customize it. So I think I'm going to have to get another one. Next up, a figure that surprised me is Spider Woman. I'm going to be calling her Spider Woman, Jessica Dreq. I don't know if she's going to go by Spider Woman, but It is what it is. But look how big this head sculpt is, dude. Like, that's a lot of plastic on the head. You do feel it too. It is heavy. I really like the translucent plastic on the glasses. I think the face sculpt looks very pretty, looks very cool. She looks like a mature woman, which is nice. Like, she doesn't look like a kid like the rest of them. I don't know how they do the face printing for a digital character, but they're killing it, Hasbro. And lo and behold, she is pregnant. So this is my first pregnant action figure. So it's pretty cool. Never thought I'd say that, to be honest, but if it was to be anybody, I think it should be Jessica Dreq. So I love that all of the details on her jacket are painted and sculpted, except the spiderwebs here, but these bands are, this design here, the little triangle. Like, this jacket, like, if you saw this, you would think, like, oh, that's just regular Jessica Dreq, and then, obviously, Across the Spider-Verse comes and puts their take on it, and that's awesome. So, it's a very good combination of classic character design with new design for the movie. I really like that. And the paint is super clean. She's got this black line on the inside, too, which is a really nice touch, and Hasbro painted it. Hasbro went to town with the paint on this, guys. It just proves that they can paint, except for one thing, but we'll get to that when we get to that figure. But yeah, looks great. I mean, she's thicker, if that makes sense, which is, you know, kind of appropriate for a pregnant figure. I like that these silver buttons here are painted. All these straps are painted, these buckles here. This strap is nice, and then you just get her boots that don't have any paint. You really don't get any paint from the waist down other than these. But I really love that head sculpt. As far as accessories, you only get a pair of fist hands. Very lack of accessories. She doesn't have flip hands, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if that's like going to be a thing. I don't really care either way. Oh, I thought that broke. The joints are a little hard. Like I said, some of them are thin, so you're going to want to like grab it at the base and like kind of push in when you pull up. Like, don't just crank. You know, like the hinges are tough and the joints are not, so just be careful. But the head's on a double ball peg. It's definitely like not even attached, so I'm not a huge fan of that, but I also understand because of her design. So she's not going to look up very far. She'll look down, pivot side to side fantastically, and rotate. So I think it's fine for the hair. You just got to like angle it right. Shoulders, again, be careful with them. They're going to hinge upwards pretty much past, like just horizontal, maybe a little past down. Rotate 360, bicep swivel, double jointed, pinless elbows. Love it. Looks great, especially for character designs like this. And then the wrist swivel and hinge. Now, I thought the ball joint would be a little bit better, but it really doesn't do much. It's just going to rotate, and it's a clicky joint, which always makes me like anxious. You know, she has to arch forward. It's just, you know, how human pregnancy works. So crunch forward a little bit, arc back, pivot side to side, and rotate. So it's nice. The hips hinge out, they go down. She'll kick forward on that side that far, a little bit further on the other side. This band is a little restrictive, but she does do the full splits, which is nice. So when she's ready to, you know, whatever. Upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, no boot rotation on her, which I don't really care about. And then the ankle goes down, up, and pivots. I do find that she's a little hard to stand. She leans back pretty heavily with her hair, but then when you lean her forward, then she wants to go forward. So it's not impossible, but it definitely is a little bit hard. My base, my stand isn't, like my review station isn't super level right now. But honestly, it's not the end of the world, but I do wish that she could stand a little bit better. Next up was a figure I wasn't super hyped on, but pleasantly surprised. Spider-Punk. Man, dude, they killed it on this figure. Holy crap. I've never seen this much paint on a Marvel Legends. This is great. This is fantastic. Hasbro, do more of this. This is a really good figure. Very, very good figure. But the head sculpt looks awesome. I love the dripping paint and the loose spider webs with the spikes on there. It looks so, so good. That is awesome. I love that they don't all connect because that's intentional. It looks great. I like that the blue on there is painted very clean. It goes down to the neck. The choker, all that paint on there is so well done. All the studs and the buckle on there, all painted. All the spikes. Look at that. Look at that paint. Silver paint all the way around there. Looks fantastic. You get this logo. I forget what band that's for, but that's like, I don't know. So I know that this logo is from a band or something. Let me know if you guys know. I love that. I am a little upset they didn't paint all the way around here, but they do it in the front, so it's I guess it's better than nothing, but I hate when Hasbro does that. But I'm going to give them a pass on this figure because there is a lot of paint. They did it over here on this arm too. I love the blue like webbing around the arms. It looks so cool. The patch, like hatch plaid work, I guess, is awesome. The silver studs. Again, I wish it went all the way around, but I'm going to give them leeway with this. Like, even the pocket studs are painted. The Anarchy logo is on there. These buttons are all painted, tampoed. Oh man, dude, I don't even know if my camera can pick up that. That is awesome. That's like NECA quality kind of stuff right there. And then you get the pick in the hand and then the guitar holding hand. That is awesome. And then the boots. I love characters with thin legs and huge boots, so his proportions are really doing it for me, and I like the straps from the suspenders. So yeah, this is an awesome looking figure. There is so much to like about it. The paint is really, really good. It's a very strong release. He does come with a couple accessories as well. Of course, he comes with a whip hand. I don't know where it went. It'll come up eventually, but I'm okay because it has this. You do get his guitar. Of course, you have to get Spider-Punk with his guitar. So you get him to hold it. For you animators, it'd be awesome to like have him like ripping it, like. But yeah, that is awesome. I do kind of wish that he had a vertical hinge on the guitar pick hand, but look at that guitar. There's so many stickers and paint detail on there, like nice tempo. The tuning for like the tuning picks, they're so nice. It's just. Oh, man, dude. And I love it. I'm really, really surprised at how good this figure is. So, as far as articulation goes, the head goes up, goes down. That's pretty much it. It's not really going to pivot. It's on a hinge, so pretty much all you're going to get there. Hinge goes up, down, rotate 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then the wrist swivel and hinge. Be careful on this side. This form actually is a separate piece here, so it doesn't rotate, but I don't like it. Kind of wants to pop out when you move it, so hold it at the elbow when you want to hinge that side. That is the craziest ab crunch I've ever seen. That's straight down, and it looks horrendous from the back, but I mean from the side it's whatever because he has the jacket to cover it. And then on the back, arc back, that's not good. But I mean, you don't really need them. You do kind of want them arcing back a little bit, but again, the jacket kind of covers it if you angle it right. So I don't know. I'm very torn about that. Waist swivel, hips go outwards that far, they go down. Heel kick forward, back, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then the boots do rotate, and then you get a hinge all the way back, all the way forward, and a pivot on there. He's awesome. I am pleasantly surprised at how good this figure is. I love the guitar finger and just like having him there with his guitar. I'm sure this guitar is reuse, but I don't really care. I think that they did enough to make it look new. But yeah, that is so cool. This is a very surprisingly fun figure. Next up, let's end. Let's take a break from the regular figures and take a look at a deluxe one. So starting, or the only one so far, Cyborg Spider Woman. Look at this design. That's insane. I remember seeing this figure, the basic figure of this, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Thinking it was kind of ugly, but it's definitely grown on me. And this is a very unique and cool design. It really has nothing to do with Spider-Man other than the blue and the red in the places that they are. But like, if you saw that, you would not think Spider-Man. And then it's awesome though. I mean, that's what the whole Spider-Verse is about, dude, is getting crazy versions of our favorite characters, so I'm with it. Taking a look at this big old figure here with a little head sculpt. You do get a very nice looking head sculpt. I love that the webbing is like barbed wire. Like, I don't know if that's what they're going for, but it looks fantastic. And then like the Bane mask with the green in the eye, and then this color is a little bit different. These are all separate pieces in there too, so it's very clean. But earlier when I mentioned that for the most part the paint is amazing in this series, this is the figure that bothers me. I don't like that they didn't paint the spikes on the hands there. And they really Hasbro'd the shit out of the webbing on this. They only painted certain parts of the webbing. They stopped at the back of the arm. They didn't do it on the shoulder. They stopped up here. I'll give them a pass for the shoulder, but like on the boot here, come on now. They only painted up front, then no other paint. They only painted on the side here, up the front there a little bit, none on the back. None on the back of the arm. They stopped on the top of the shoulders. I hate that. Like, because they even painted like under here. Like even like her chest is painted, but the front of the boot is not. I don't get that. That irks me a lot, actually. Other than that, this figure's pretty damn impressive. Look at the detail sculpt on this arm. That's nuts, dude. There are so many wirings and cables and I don't know. I'm not a tech guy, but some of these panels are painted different colors, which is nice. Really, really cool. I love the Gatling gun. Like, looks awesome. It's probably going to shoot webs instead of like Glock bullets, but I do like the chain on the chest. And then this is really cool. The shoulder pad actually has like separate pieces underneath of it that goes through for the spikes on top. Very, very cool. The side of the arm here is painted good with all the straps and then the buckle here, or the wristband, but I hate that the spikes on the hand are not painted. I also don't know why they gave a fist or a grip hand. She doesn't come with any accessories. And I really would have liked the fist hand on that, because she doesn't have anything to hold. I mean, maybe this is meant to hold like a villain in the hand, but at that point I wish it was a vertical hinge. I don't know, whatever. The belt's kind of bland looking. Kind of wish that they painted a different color. It's kind of off-putting, but not terrible. The back looks good. And then you do get a ton of paint with the straps, the pouches, the buckle there, whatever this thing is on her knee pad, and then the boots look awesome. There's a lot of separate pieces to this. It's like sandwiched in between. I like all the spikes. They're going in all different directions. I don't know if that's intentional, but it works for me. All these buckles on the straps on this boot are painted. You get like the steel toe there. Again, that just bothers the shit out of me, because it would have looked so much better if they painted that. Not that it looks bad, but I also like that this one has the tongue down, like it's unstrapped. It's just, there's a lot going on with this design. So I give them a little bit of a pass, because I'm sure that this is a lot of paint, but it is also $60 and she comes with nothing. So is it worth $60? I don't know. I'm on the fence with it. Parts of me think yes, parts of me think absolutely not, so I don't know. As far as the articulation goes, it's actually pretty good. The hinge goes upwards that far, down, rotate side to side, and pivot. Shoulders go outward on this side, up that far, and then on this side only that far, down. It'll rotate all the way around. You just gotta move the shoulder pad out of the way. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then the wrist swivel and hinge. And then on this side, it goes hinges, it goes down, it rotates all the way around. You do get like a bicep swivel up here, and then it rotates at like the gun part too. Like this is a separate piece. So it rotates here, and like it rotates here and here, if that makes sense. So whatever. You get a ball joint at the waist or at like the torso. Pivots side to side, rotates. She'll crunch forward a little bit, arc back. It works. I think that that's definitely enough articulation, especially for a design like that. The hips go outwards that far, down, she'll kick forward, back, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, no boot rotation, and then the ankles go down, up, and pivot. So the articulation is pretty much everything that I would hope from it. I mean, it would be cool if they found a way to like hinge this arm, but I don't even know if she can do that. At the time of this recording, I didn't know if I mentioned it. The movie's not out yet, but yeah, very impressive. $60 impressive? I think that's up for debate. So I've been saying that this wave is pretty damn strong, and I'm going to stick to that. I think it's a very strong wave, and I'm very happy with it, but I'm not happy with this one. I just don't like it. Maybe that's a hot take, but this is by far my least favorite out of the series, which sucks because I don't have a Spider-Man 2099, and I only get these figures because I love the Into the Spider-Verse movies. I don't do like the whole Spider-Verse thing that everybody else does, but any Spider-Man they make, I get it. I only get the one specifically from the movies. Yeah, this one just doesn't do it for me. I think the proportions are really cool, like the tapered in waist and the big shoulders. I like that, but there's just a lot of things I don't like. There's things that I do like, and it's not an awful figure, but it's definitely my least favorite out of the series. So I don't know, maybe that's a hot take, but there's a couple things that I want to go over. I do like the way that the head looks, but the shape is just weird, and the way that they attached it to the head, I hate when there's gappage. Say what you want about McFarlane, but he knows how to do a really good double ball peg at the head, and I wish Hasbro would learn how to do it, because you're not supposed to like seat it all the way down in the neck with like little to no room to move around with, and then all the movement comes on the top. Like, it should be the other way around. Like, there's barely any movement on the top of the head, and then all the movement comes at the neck. And it doesn't work terribly here, but it makes like these terrible gaps and stuff, and I don't really like that. Plus, with the way his head is shaped, it really does not complement it. Maybe that's just me, but the arms, they're all right. But the big thing for me is like everybody else was filled with texture and sculpted detail. Like, look at the texture on Miles, and then there's no texture on him. And I thought his suit was all digital, and like they do some of the sculpting work up here, but it was definitely on the blue as well. Because I remember seeing the basic figure and being like, damn, this looks pretty damn awesome. I might have to pick this up, because it had a lot of detail. Now this one doesn't, which kind of really blows. One thing I do like is I really like the way they did his cape thing. I really like the ombre from the red to the clear. Very translucent, soft plastic, drapes nice. I do really like that. So that's a very good thing. And I do like that everything's sculpted, but what? You can barely move that. So like realistically, you can crunch it forward. That's fine, because the logo, they sculpted it so it didn't go on the bottom. So that's fine. But like, there's really no point in arcing them back at all, because neutral pose is all you can do. They didn't even try. Like, even if they just painted a little bit of red through there, that would have been nice. I don't like that. Like, that's lazy. You already made a whole new sculpt. Do it right, I guess. I don't know. The detail on his hands and arms are painted down or are sculpted here on the forearm as well, but not necessarily up here. I can't tell. The detail in there is sculpted, but the rest of it's not. The little things on his shins are sculpted, and then you do get red on the bottom of the feet, which is nice. I do really like that. But like I said, I do like the things on his arms too. I just think that that's a cool design feature from him that they're transferring to the movie. I don't know. I don't like, he looks bland compared to everybody else. How's that sound? Like, look at this, and then look at this. All sculpted stuff. There's texture on his pants that make it look like leather. Nothing smooth. He's got tons of paint. And then this guy has two colors and no details sculpted. There's a lot of detail on the digital cape or whatever, but I don't know. I just don't see the worthiness here. And then the other thing that really bugs me is that his hands are round fingered. Why? Like, make them pointy. Clip them just a little bit. I'm actually going to try to clip them real quick, and then I'll show you guys on camera. Okay, so I kind of did it. It kind of looks like a claw, but it does shorten it a little too much, so I'm probably not going to do it for the rest of them, but it just really bugs me that they're not claws. The sculpted detail on them is very nice, and the paint is actually pretty good, but I don't like that it's not clawed. I feel like that's kind of his thing, is having the claws, and I think that would have been really cool to pose him like that, like running with the claws out. So I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I'm not a big fan that he doesn't come with claw hands. In terms of articulation, it's okay. Like, I already kind of went over the head. It moves all right, but again, it just looks weird in my opinion, and I know that the design is weird, so I give them a little bit of slack there, but the shoulders do go up pretty far. They'll go down, they'll rotate 360, bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, and then the wrist swivel and hinge. Nothing really problematic there. The torso goes forward a little bit, back, again, really nothing at all. Waist swivel. His butt, geez, man, that's a geometric butt. But he kicks forward, back, not at all. Upper thigh cut, he'll do about that far. Double jointed pinless knees, and then the ankle goes down, up, and pivot. Nice smooth pivot. I like that better. But yeah, I don't know. He's just not doing it for me. I like his proportions. I like that big heroic pose, but I don't like that he doesn't come with claw hands, and I don't like that he's not sculpted. I wish there was more detail on him. But where I think the lack of detail does work is in Spot. Oh man, I love this figure. There's the reasons I don't like Spider-Man 2099 are the reasons why I love this guy. He is one of the coolest action figures I think I've played with in a long time. He is very fun to play around with, despite his weird oblong shape. I'm very happy with this figure. I have two tiny complaints about him. So starting off at the look at his head sculpt here, I love the just vacantness of it. I love his proportions, the body, the Gru build. I know people aren't liking it. Why, dude? It's what he looks like. He's got his little butt. He looks awesome, in my opinion. I have no issues with this whatsoever in terms of sculpt. I like that there's no detail on him. What would have been really cool, but I don't know how Hasbro would have done it, so I'm not like upset at them at all, is what I noticed in the trailers and stuff is that there's this thing in animation and drawing that's called the skeleton of the figure that you're doing. So it's like the little circle, line, triangle, line, circle at the elbow, circle at the wrist, this, that, or the other. And in these shots that they show of him, you can see that animated into it. I love that. Like, I cannot describe as an artist how much I love that. It would have been awesome if they tried to transfer that into this, but it's kind of impossible. So, whatever. But I love how big his hands are. I love this big open hand. It looks so nice. And then you get like the spots all over him. He's got a lot on his back. That's nice. Kind of wish he had more spots. Like there's none on the inside of his forearm there, but none on the lateral aspect of the top of his arm. But it's good. It's good. I love his proportions. Some people hate it. I'm on the fence or on the side of that. I love it. Now, in terms of accessories, this is slightly... Actually, before I mention that, my one nitpick with this figure is he's very glossy. His face is pretty matte, and then the rest of him is very plasticky and glossy. So I might spray him with a dull coat. I don't know. Just like matte finish them. Because the splotches are painted nice. I also think what would be really cool, and I might try to do, is get that like blackest black paint and do that on the holes on his body. I think that would be really, really nice. So we'll see. We'll see. But the other tiny nitpick is I don't really like this hand. I don't like the relaxed hand. I kind of wish he came with another open hand like this. Or one of each. So or like a full set of each. So a full set of relaxing hands and a full set of wide open hands. Because he does come with fists as well. But I think that would have been really, really cool to see that. Just because I like this big cartoony open hand. I love that it's like bigger than the other one. He's a very animated figure. Funny enough, no pun intended, but man, he is so much fun to play around with. But then he also does come with this awesome ass accessory of him using his powers. I love when you get character specific accessories, and this is Miles being pushed through the portals. Now, I do have a little gripe that I kind of wish they made this a ball joint so you could pop on the head of the other one and then like switch it over, but it is the same size, so that's nice. There's less paint on this one. There's no blue on it. This clips on, and then this comes off, so if you technically want to like hang this on the wall or something, you could do that, but otherwise it just pops on the top, boom, and then clips on there like that. Or if you want to do it upside down, like, you could do whatever you want with it, and it stands up next to him. I didn't know that it came with this for the longest time, and then I saw it, I was like, whoa, that's awesome. So very awesome accessory. I really, really like that. But I gotta say, I think my favorite thing is definitely the articulation on this guy. It's surprisingly well. The head goes back all the way. He'll look down all the way. Rotate side to side. No real pivot, which I would have really liked for a character like this. I feel like he's going to be very flamboyant and animated, so I want to see that. Shoulders go up. They rotate. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows that literally could go further if you need them to. Wrist swivel and hinge. And then get a good diaphragm joint. Look at how much that pivots. Pivot side to side. He does arc back. I don't like that it gets gappy in there. So theoretically, he only goes back about that much until you get gaps. But it does kind of work for Spot, as he has spots. So it doesn't really bother me that much. But he doesn't really arc forward that well. He does rotate, which is a really ugly joint. So you're really only going to like do like certain poses. But it works. I don't know why, but it works. And his Gru legs, they go out, kick forward, back, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then the ankles go down, up, and nice smooth pivot as well. So awesome articulation for him. I have been playing with him more than any other figure in the wave, which I kind of anticipated. I don't know why. I just really, really like him. But yeah, I think he looks and moves fantastically. Now for scaling in this video, I'm not going to do every single figure. that I reviewed, but I will go ahead and just show you with these ones. I took the biggest one, the medium one, and then the smallest one. So, oops, you're not on set yet. Here they are next to the Kong and the Jazzwares Fortnite series Peely. So Spider Woman is pretty tall. She's a little bit taller than King Kong. Again, you know, you can decide whether or not you still think she's worth $60, but that's up for you to decide. And then the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dark Knight Returns Batman and the Marvel Legends X-Men series Darwin. So definitely scale in their own line. If you want to use Spot as just a comic book spot, you can do so. I really don't see the problem in it. But that looks great. And then obviously you gotta get Zombie Cap in here. Not an MCU figure guy per se, but when it comes to three things: Guardians, Captain America, or Into the Spider-Verse. I know Into the Spider-Verse isn't like MCU, but movie stuff, that's where I'm at. I will be getting the 3 Spider-Men. Toby, I want that 3-pack. I don't know. Hopefully I can find it somewhere. But yeah, I think that they scale good together. You'll get a very diverse cast to get put together of like different shapes and sizes and colors for your Spider-Man shelf. So, you guys are probably wondering, yo, Ant, what are your final thoughts on all these figures? I don't know if this is the record for the most figures I've reviewed in one video. I did a McFarlane video a little bit ago. It might have also been, I think it was only 5 figures. This is 6. That's a lot of figures for one video, but I don't really have a lot of time to like review things individually. Oh my god, and of course everything's gotta fall all the time. But so when I get things together, I kind of just like to lump them into one video. So sorry for the longer videos, guys, but I am still in school and I got a lot going on. So I do this for fun, you know, and to talk to you guys. But, you know, so sometimes I don't get to take the time with the videos that I would like to necessarily, if that makes sense. But, you know, not necessarily an excuse to make poor content, but hopefully you guys can appreciate the stuff that I do for the channel. Just, you know, considering that I don't do this full time, or probably ever will, because I'm not that good. But you know, I just kind of do this for fun as a college student. But so I kind of lump them together. But I like when things go together, and I like being able to review all these at once and share my passion and love for all of them at the same time, because they are a very good set of figures. So starting off with, I guess I'll go in order of who I reviewed. So starting off with Miles, he very much surprised me, and it makes me really want to customize him to be something cooler than this even is. And this is a great figure to begin with, but I really like the jacket and the shoes look for him, so we'll see where I go with that. But I'm definitely going to have to get another one for the custom that I have in mind, because I'm not going to ruin this one. Then we went and took a look at Spider Woman of Jessica Dreq. So, again, a surprising figure. I think the head sculpt is really good. It's weird having a pregnant action figure, but I think that that's awesome. I think the head sculpt's great. The sculpt on the hair is amazing. I really, really like that. Very happy with that. Then we went and took a look at Spider-Punk, which was probably the biggest surprise out of the series here. He has so much paint on him, so much sculpt, great accessories. I love the hands. Just, man. Oh, by the way, I did find the whipping hand, or in his case, probably a rock and roll hand, but awesome, awesome, awesome stuff there. Then we took a look at Cyborg Spider Woman, and man, that's an awesome figure. The fist, or lack of, bothers the squiz out of me, and I also really, really hate that they got really lazy and didn't paint all of the webbing. Other than that, pretty awesome figure as well. Again, I don't know if she's worth $60, but I could see her at like 40. We'll see. That's just my opinion. And then we took a look at Spot. Or, I'm sorry, we ended with Spot. We took a look at Spider-Man 2099. Pretty disappointing. I don't think that it's terrible. And compared to some other stuff that Hasbro's put out, it's nowhere near as bad as it could have been. But I think it could have been a lot better compared to some of the stuff that Hasbro's put out. I mean, just look who he's standing next to in terms of Spider-Man, Spider-Punk. Pretty awesome. And then finally we took a look at Spot, and damn, do I love that figure. Awesome, awesome, awesome. No, it's maybe I'm biased because I like that we're getting a character that isn't jacked. I think that it's awesome to get like a, you know, a bigger build or a weird oblong build, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love those cartoon proportions, and he's just fun to play around with. So, Miles at a price point of $25.99 or $24.99. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. The ab crunch is pretty horrendous. I think a little bit more accessories would be cool because he is kind of small. But I think the head sculpt is beautiful, the sculpt is great, and the articulation, while being ugly, does work. Then for Spider Woman, Jessica Dreq, $24.99. I'll also give her an 8. Again, great head sculpt, great paint. The articulation could have been better. I think a super cool ball joint at the waist would have been cool with the pregnancy, I guess. Also, I don't really love that she doesn't come with any accessories neither, so there's that. Then for Spider-Punk, I'm giving that a 10 out of 10. That's an awesome figure. Great accessories, amazing paint, great sculpt, love it all around. Spider-Woman, Cyborg, whatever you want to call her, $60. I can't go higher than a 7, guys. The lack of paint really bothers me. The articulation's great, but I hate that they really cheaped out on those spider webs because it's going to be hard to match those colors and to paint them yourself, even if you wanted to. And I don't like that it has like a random gripping hand. Not a big fan of that. Then Spider-Man 2099. I'm only giving that like a 5 max. It's not terrible, but like, I don't like that he doesn't come with claw hands. He's Spider-Man 2099. That's his thing. Shocking claws. Why do we not have that? But Spot, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Can you argue anything else? Probably. Am I going to listen? Probably not. I love it. I think the accessory is one of the best accessories I've seen for Marvel Legends in a long time. I love the proportions. He has no right being as fun to play around with as he is. So, it's a lot of me ranting. This video is going to be long. So if you're here, comment, Spot is a Chad. If you're still here. Spot is a Chad. Comment that. But other than that, I believe that's all I got for today. So if you have not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post a lot over there, and I have a lot of fun. And I'm sure you all will too. But as always, let me know who you're going to cop. See you guys in the next one. Peace.